Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, all three of us. If Patreon is your thing, check out the link in the description below. Loads of stuff on there. Starts for a bargain price of just $3 a month.
Yeah.
Get things like full watch-alongs to things like Seinfeld, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Modern Family.
F is for family.
That is so funny, man. That's one of my favourite
Just started,
ones.
what is
They're all
it?
brilliant.
Series 5.
Series 5, yeah.
We're in the last series at the moment now, but they're all on there. But it's proper funny, man.
Yeah.
It's Bill Burr at his finest,
Yeah.
I think. Series 5 started, and it's just miles better than any of the other series.
When I watch it, I wonder if it is based on his life.
I'm sure it's probably close resemblance because
Yeah.
there's some things I do. He grew up kind of probably in a
Yeah.
similar upbringing to me.
Yeah.
And it's I watch it and I think it's like me growing up. This it's very funny. But anyway, check it out if it's for you. The world's most dangerous countries. I can think of a few where I wouldn't go.
Is this going to be based on like where they don't visit these places?
Well, I go on when I used to travel quite a lot. I used to have to go on the government website and see what they say, whether it's safe to travel there, sort of thing. And there was a few countries where I was going where they say you can't go, and one of them was South Sudan.
Afghanistan, surely has got.
Afghanistan wasn't on. It was advisory because it was a war going on. It was the end of the war. But it was advised not to go. You had to give a reason to go. But I remember our CEO at the time just went. I sat with him and said, "I'm going to Afghanistan." He went, "You're not." I went, "I've got it for it." He went, "We don't need business that much."
Yeah.
He went, "Leave it."
Yeah.
I went, "But it's a part of the military stuff we're doing." He went, "Forget it." He went, "Just leave it."
It's
Yeah.
got to be on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just countries at war, really, probably.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of civil unrest as well. You wouldn't want to go Somalia or places like South Sudan now.
You wouldn't really go into the central of Africa. And
No,
all
you
that
wouldn't
as
want
well,
to go. No, Central African Republic, places
Yeah.
like that. Congo. He's kicking off at the moment, isn't it? Again, there's a lot of troubled places at the moment. But let's see where
North
these
Korea.
are. No, North Korea.
If you're even allowed,
I think that's just an
Probably
allowing
actually
thing.
not that dangerous, is it?
What about
Probably not.
Saudi?
I've been to Saudi many times. It's
Yeah.
not that dangerous.
But I mean, when you're there, if something happens, you
It's not,
just
it happens.
disappear.
If you break the law, in any country, you just disappear. You can disappear.
That's it, you're gone.
But he's, I mean, at the time, I think was it El Salvador was one of the worst ones, but now it's cleaned up because he's just putting everyone in jail,
Yeah.
like it or not. If you're in the wrong area,
I've
jail.
seen that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into this anyway. See what it is.
The British government on their website detail whether or not you should visit a particular country. If it's all green, this is classed as a safe country to visit. Orange
Everywhere.
means you should only visit if it's for essential means, like perhaps visiting a family member who is seriously ill. And then red means you should not travel.
I wonder if you've been to any of these countries.
Be interesting,
probably
won't
have.
it?
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been to many dangerous countries. Although I don't know if they classify as dangerous because Nigeria is probably classified as dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it was
South Africa's classed as dangerous.
I've been to South Africa, been Nigeria. But when you go to certain places, you look at it and you think, don't go to certain areas of that
Yeah.
country.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to go
it's
to.
like-
We were told we got to go to meet a customer down in Warri, and I went, no, tell the customer to come up to Abuja. We'll meet him in Abuja because I'm not going to Warri. That's where people get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And same as Yemen. Remember when he said to me, "I'll pick you up here and I'll drive you to Hodeidah." I went, "How far's the drive?" And he went, 7 hours through the We'll cut through the mountains. I went, "Ain't going."
Yeah.
Cut through.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. In doing so, your travel insurance may be void. So if something were to happen to you and you'd get injured, you may have to pay the entire medical bill. Some countries find their map painted with all three colours, like say Nigeria,
There you
which
go.
is about an equal mixture of the three. The red parts of the country are where Boko Haram are active, a brutal terrorist group. You then have plenty of orange
Remember
as
they
well
sound
as
white to shade
green,
of
where
pale.
you'll find Lagos and the capital of Abuja. So let's travel around the world and investigate all of the countries that are completely red as of early August 2024. So let's start off with Europe. How many countries do you think are completely red? Well, believe it or not, there are actually two, and one of those is not Ukraine. Ukraine's west is kind of...
Do you want to have a guess at what they could be?
Belarus.
Belarus. I was going to say Belarus as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And
And-
Russia.
Do you reckon it will just be Russia?
Russia and Belarus. I think if it's
What
on
about
Brit-
like Moldova or something like that?
Moldova's a good shout. I think Moldova's quite safe though, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never been.
Yeah. I know it's borders Belarus and all that, and it's quite a poor country.
Moldova doesn't border Belarus.
Isn't it north of Belarus?
No, it's south of Ukraine.
Oh, I thought it was north of Belarus. Right. There's Moldova there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's what's the yellow one there?
The yellow one's just part of Ukraine as
Oh,
well.
Ukraine. Right.
That's where
okay.
it's safe to go.
Right.
of orange. So the two completely red countries are Belarus and Russia. Russia is of course the world's largest country, so going by the British government's advice, we already can't visit 11% of Earth's land, and we've only
I really
just
want to go as
begun.
well.
Yeah.
Belarus is of course Russia's biggest European ally. As the war with Ukraine rages on, the uncertainty and danger of the region continues to make this place a region a very dangerous place. Let's now move on to the Americas, where across this entire region there is only a single country that is entirely red. Any idea which country?
There's only one. It's got to be one like Honduras or something like that in the Central America, I would imagine.
I think
Brazil?
I guess.
Nah, Brazil.
No.
Brazil, no chance.
Nicaragua.
I can't see it being anywhere in South America.
Yeah.
I can't think of anywhere unless Venezuela or
What about like Guyana or Suriname?
Yeah, but I think they're quite safe to go to.
I don't really know.
I'm going to go with.
I'm going to go with Nicaragua
I'm going to
or
go with 2024.
Honduras.
I'm going to go with El Salvador.
But you said it's cleaned up.
Yeah, it has, but this is before pre-2024. He said, didn't he?
It's August 2024.
Yeah, so I don't know how long ago it was.
Country it is? So some of you might be thinking maybe Venezuela, which would be a good guess as the majority of the country is orange with red along its borders.
Said that, didn't we?
However, the only country to be completely red across North and South America is found in the Caribbean. It is a country that sees unrest, gang and political violence, as well as some pretty bad natural disasters. It is Haiti. Before we move on, take a look at Brazil's map. It's super interesting. So the entire country is pretty much green, apart from this region here, which sees these thin orange lines. These are rivers in the Amazonas state which connect the country to Colombia, Peru and Venezuela. I'm guessing these rivers are orange as they're used for people or drug smuggling, a place you really don't want to be as a foreign tourist. So that was 2 countries for Europe and 1 for the entire Americas. There are no countries in Oceania that are completely red, so that leaves us with 2 continents left, of course if we exclude Antarctica. But which continent out of Africa and Asia do you think has the most completely red countries?
Africa.
Let's take a look. So let's start with Asia, where we have 5 countries in total.
5.
North Korea. Got to be one.
If yeah, it probably will be. I'll also go. See, Asia's a lot because I don't really know.
I think the whole country's red. Did he say?
What's it like in like
Pakistan?
Myanmar?
Pakistan might be a good one. Pakistan will
yeah.
be one. Yeah, that's a good one. Myanmar's probably on there. Yeah, I would say Myanmar's probably a no-go.
I don't know what
so
Bhutan's like. I don't know
there's
anything.
3.
What's Bhutan like?
Bhutan, not been, so I don't know.
Nepal. I
Nepal,
can't imagine
No.
they
people go there for
Mount Everest.
Yeah.
I think Pakistan's a good shout.
Yeah.
What about
Kyrgyzstan and all that?
Afghanistan?
Afghanistan and all that area.
Yeah, Afghanistan will be in there, and maybe
Kyrgyzstan.
Maybe
I don't know Kyrgyzstan. That's just one of them that area of the woods, isn't it?
Turkmenistan. Yeah, I'll go with Pakistan as well.
What
That
about
are completely
Iraq,
red,
Syria?
and believe it
Syria.
or not, one of those
Syria.
is not North Korea or Israel.
Syria's
North
definitely
Korea,
one.
in fact, finds its entire country map being orange, which means do not travel unless it's essential. However, as North Korea still hasn't reopened its borders after COVID, it is still closed off to the outside world for tourists.
Busy there, isn't it?
Now, I've always thought this, but I genuinely think that North Korea is one of the safest countries in the world to visit as a tourist. That's as long as you stick to their rules.
Yeah.
The threat of crime from locals is pretty much non-existent due to the extreme punishments they'd receive. The chances of getting pickpocketed in, say, London or Barcelona are astronomically higher than in, say, Pyongyang. Somehow, Israel is not completely red. Obviously, the West Bank, Gaza, and the northern borders with Syria and Lebanon are, but the rest of the country remains orange. Now, these are quite unpredictable times, so this might have changed by the time you're watching this video. So a country that is entirely red is Iran, which finds its entire country map looking like this. The British government states that being British is enough evidence to arrest and detain you for questioning. There is also the threat of all-out war in this region, hence why it is completely red. Lebanon is another country that is completely red, as it finds itself in a region that is involved in conflict with missile...
It says Belar, and then they're sort of like controlling that sort of like region now, aren't they? Lebanon's a really nice country, bit of Beirut. It's like Paris of the East, they used to call it.
Yeah.
Paris of the Middle East, yeah. It's a beautiful country, I thought. But it's too close
to other countries.
Well, Hezbollah sort of like took over, didn't they, and sort of like started shelling Israel and all that, and it's causing all kinds of issues where it's they're like the ruling. I don't think the ruling party, but they're the funded terrorist group there, aren't they? From Iran, sort of thing.
Barrages on the regular. It comes to no surprise that Syria is also completely red. A brutal civil war has raged through the country since 2011, with the death toll estimated to be an unbelievable 600 or so thousand. What's kind of crazy is that Lebanon and Syria are only around 180 kilometers across the Med away from Cyprus, a very popular tourist holiday destination. Yemen is another country that is completely red. Similar to Syria, the country finds itself amongst an ongoing civil war which started in 2014. Around 150,000 people have been killed directly from the war, with around 70,000 estimated to have also been killed due to famine and the lack of medical facilities. And finally we have Afghanistan, which since 2020
I think when we heard Asia at the start, we went too far east.
Far east, yeah.
One has been under full control of the Taliban,
East.
which the UK government declares as a terrorist organisation. However, unlike Syria and Yemen, there is no longer war in Afghanistan. That effectively ended in August of 2021 when the US pulled out. There are still some ongoing conflicts within the country, however. So those are the 5 countries that are completely red in Asia. But are there more in Africa? Well, no, there are actually only 3.
What?
But before
You're telling me
Wow.
So I guess it's them two. I don't know if they're two of the ones that he's going to tell us. That's
I can't even work out what they are. I didn't
Burkina
think.
Faso, is it on the top left? Maybe.
I think it is.
I think it's
it
Burkina
is.
Faso, and the other one's Central African Republic.
Is that not-
Congo.
Democratic Republic of the Congo is the
Yeah,
one below it,
the one
right?
below
I
it,
don't
the
know,
big
I
one.
don't know.
I think that's Central African Republic, right?
Could be.
we take a look at the 3, let's investigate
That could be
Burkina
the Congo,
Faso
actually.
and the
Central
Central
African
African
below.
Republic,
Yeah, Central
who have
African.
interesting looking
Well
maps.
done, mate. Fair
For
play.
the Central African Republic, the entire country is red, apart from this tiny area here, which happens to be the city of Bangui, which is the capital. The reason why pretty much the entire country is red is due to armed groups controlling large areas of the country where they regularly kidnap, injure and or kill civilians. Burkina Faso follows the same theme as the Central African Republic, where the entire country is red apart from its capital. So Niger finds
You
its
wanna say
entire
Niger,
map being
yeah.
red. This is due to a military takeover in the country, to which there have been many protests. And then we have Sudan, where a civil war is currently brewing. The war started in 2023 with a death toll estimated to be around 15,000 at the time of making this video. And then finally, just south of Sudan, we have no other than South Sudan, a country which is now no longer in a civil war, but still frequently sees armed conflicts, kidnapping and other quite terrifying crimes. So that's 11 countries in total that are completely red. In other words, countries the British government has deemed to be too dangerous to visit for any reason at all. These 11 countries combined cover an area of around 25 million kilometers squared. That's nearly 17% of all land on Earth. Now, of course, this may have changed depending on when you're watching this video. Give me your predictions as to which countries you think might be added next.
Wonder where the problems are in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, right down that strip there.
In every continent,
Yeah, in every continent. Yeah, it's Belarus and Russia. I guess it's
apart from Oceania.
yeah, it's nothing going on there. Well, Indonesia can be that comes under Asia anyway, doesn't it?
Surprised, I feel like there's no dangerous countries in South America.
I know. Well,
When you think about it,
no. I mean,
Haiti's in North America, isn't
well,
it?
they had a big sort of like line around Venezuela, didn't they? Which we kind of sort of
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
Didn't we lent sort of like Venezuela, but Haiti's sort of like I think Haiti's worsened, hasn't it? I think the crime sort of like took over there with the gangs and all that
Yeah.
kind
I
of stuff in
forgot
Haiti. I've
about
been
Haiti
reading about it
when
recently.
we went there before.
Yeah, I was reading about it recently. It's not a great place to be at the moment, but yeah, El Salvador's been cleaned up, and I think the whole of Central America has always been sort of like troublesome.
So you're telling,
I think
like,
there's some
obviously
cool
it'd
places
probably be
there.
orange, but like surely like Somalia isn't like suitable for travel. You would have thought that.
I think like a lot of red spots, but the entire country I think
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
referring to, because I
Yeah.
think there's some nice parts of Somalia like Mogadishu. There isn't. Yeah, but it's, imagine there's some parts of Somalia which is pretty safe.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a big country.
Yeah.
But again, you wouldn't want to go. I think certain parts of South Africa at the moment are just very, very troubled sort of thing, especially if you're a white guy. You know, and it's a farmer.
Yeah.
Then you're
Surprised
in
Iran
big
was
shit.
on there and Iraq wasn't on there.
Yeah, that's another one. Iraq was a bit of a surprise, but
Yeah.
again, I know people that go to Iraq for work, and it's they rave about it. But I imagine there's certain parts of Iraq which will be red.
Yeah.
But if you go up to like what's the place that begins with an E up at the top near Turkey, can't remember what it's called now. But
know
that's
what you
like
mean, though, yeah.
so it's a really nice area around there. It's like the Garden City sort of
Yeah.
thing. It's beautiful. People go there for vacation. So it's there's some parts of Iraq which are quite nice. But again, these I guess there's quite a lot of countries. If they've shown countries that had red zones, of no-go zones, it'd
The
be a
fact
lot.
that Russia's,
Yeah.
the whole thing of Russia's red is mad.
I
Because
know,
look how
because
big it is.
I know. I want to go Russia as well.
You
Yeah.
can obviously go to like certain places in Russia and be fine.
We want to go
Maybe
to St.
not right
Petersburg,
now.
don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got friends in St. Petersburg. We want to go and see. We want
Yeah.
to go and see your friend as well.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Go and see Nikolai over there.
Yeah.
It's, things like that. But it's we've been waiting to go for ages, haven't we? And just can't get in. But yeah, I mean, even when you look at Finland and places like leading up to it, Finland borders Russia there, and
Finland's
it's,
always going to be alright though, isn't
I
it?
don't know. It's part of NATO, isn't it? But I don't know. It's kind of it's a strange world we live in at the moment.
It is.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that though, because it's
Yeah.
quite interesting to find out which countries are
Interesting.
all red. Yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.